Good evening, everybody. Glad to have you all. I know it's been a long time since we've been able to put an episode out. We've been having some issues getting our schedules worked out, but tonight we're doing something a little bit different. I am joined tonight by Shawn Edwards.
How you doing?
Hey. I'm glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, great to be here.
Thank you for coming. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, but when we were recording, when me and Mr. Ham were recording, we just kind of go back and forth with each other. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to sit down and kind of talk to you one-on-one more.
Yeah, right.
So I'm glad that we got the opportunity.
Am I sitting in Mr. Ham's seat?
Yes.
Big shoes to fill.
Well, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. He's still working on his house.
Okay.
It's getting close to finish now.
Nice.
But now they're in the rush. So he's just slammed every day.
No doubt.
Trying to get paint, drywall, all that kind of stuff done.
Yeah.
But, anyway, it's kind of late, I know, and so just thank you for making the time to come out. I appreciate
pleasure.
it. I know you're a busy guy. I wanted to start, if it's okay with you, I just wanted to start with where kind of how I got to know you, which was through cycling and through fitness, and you have kept with it ever since then. Yeah. I have not so much, but I was just kind of curious if you don't mind talking about it, kind of what started you. Because I know you've shared online,
right? So
I assume it's okay to talk about, but you've shared online that, at one point you were overweight,
right? You
weren't happy, but what kind of pushed you to, make that change?
Sure. When I was in high school, I was pretty athletic, and then I got to the real world and started working, and then I got hired in on the railroad, and when I got on the railroad, I had to work some strange hours, so I started picking up some weight. It was easy. It was easy for me to stop at a store at 1 or 2 in the morning and grab something terribly unhealthy for you and just eat that for a snack, like a Mountain Dew or a honey bun or something like that. Just something to keep you awake. And if you look at that, a honey bun and a Mountain Dew, that's 750 calories just for a snack at 3 in the morning.
Right.
You do that often enough, and that's not even counting what you would eat for breakfast and lunch and then dinner. And it adds up, and I just started really piling on the weight. And at some point, I got up to 260 pounds, 40 waist. And it was hard for me to just walk any distance without being out of breath.
Right.
It just was tough. And so we had children, and I would play with them, and I would get out of breath after about 5 minutes. And I thought, really, I'm young and I'm out of shape with just playing with my kids. That's not right, and they deserve more than that. So I just thought, I'm gonna go outside and walk. And I walked for a solid 5 or 6 miles, just the first time, and I thought I was gonna die. I thought it was awful, But I just walked, and when I got home, I thought, I was wore out, and the next morning was all I could do to get out of the bed because I was so sore from walking that far.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And but I thought, I'm going to do it again. And I did that every day. Every day I did that. And at some point, I thought, I'm going to start running just to see how it feels, because I used to run in high school. I was pretty good at it. And I thought, I'm going to start running. And I ran for what felt like at least 2 miles.
Jeez.
But it wasn't. It was a quarter of a mile, maybe.
Okay. All right.
And I thought, golly, this is pitiful. But every day I kept at it, and I would try to run a little bit further and a little bit further. I got to a mile running nonstop, and then I got to 2 miles. And then finally I started doing 5Ks. And my goal was to run a full 5K without stopping. And it just went from there until I worked myself up to running a marathon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just kept at it. I just stayed at it, and I lost a lot of weight. And then...
So can I ask?
Yeah.
So you just start with exercise.
Right.
Did you keep the same diet, or did you change your diet at the same time?
At the time, when you go from McDonald's and honey buns and Mountain Dew, when we were young, our diet wasn't great either. We could eat whatever we wanted to and get away with it. But when I was on a solid diet of crap, which is why I gained all that weight, the first thing that came to mind when I thought healthy was Subway. That was it. That was it. I thought, okay, well, Subway is healthy. And so that's what I would do. I would go to Subway and I would have a 6-inch turkey sandwich for lunch. And I'm a creature of habit. And if I know something's going to work, I will do that every day because it's easy and I know it's working. So I was on a solid diet of Subway, and the weight just started melting off with with the exercise. But I then started, like everybody else, I started doing some research on healthy things to eat and salads, and I have my father-in-law is a vegetarian. I think he became a vegetarian because of, like a lot of vegetarians, they don't believe in the bludgeoning of animals. I think he had a moment in his life where that was one of the reasons he wanted to stop eating meat, but he challenged me to try it. And I did it for a solid week, and I felt like a whole nother person.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it was hard, and I thought, okay, all I can eat is lettuce. Had no idea what the vegetarian meal was like or what they ate, but I thought, okay, I can do this. Of course, now I know that a vegetarian can have amazing foods to eat, not just rabbit food. But I'm telling you, 1 week of eating no meat, and I felt I can't explain it. I just had so much energy.
All right.
It was crazy. And so, yeah. And then I started running, and then I run into some issues with my back, and running kind of became, it would hurt to run. And a buddy of mine, his name is Marty Shackelford, he said, hey, why don't you go on a bike ride with me one day and see what you think about that? I said, I haven't ridden a bike since I was a little kid. He's like, well, I got an extra bike. Let's go for a ride. And I said, sure. And I got on the bike with him, and we went for maybe an 8-mile ride, and I thought I was not going to be able to make it back. It was so hard.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh man, and we went up this little bitty hill, like it was more or less like somebody's driveway of a hill. I didn't think I was going to make it. Marty flew right up it on his bike. I didn't think I was going to make it. And I thought, there's no way I can do that. But when we made it back, I just completely fell in love with the bike again. It was like being a kid.
Yep.
And I went home, and I went to a bike shop there in Danville, Kentucky, and I looked at bikes, and at the time they had a pretty high end carbon bike. Carbon was really starting to enter in the scene, and it was several $1,000s. And I thought, oh, are you kidding me, for a bicycle?
Oh yeah.
And went home and told my wife, hey, I saw this bike. It's $2,000.
Right.
And we were on a budget kind of, and she but she fully supported me, and I went back to the bike shop, and I said, I'll take that one. And at that moment, I rode the bike every second I could, every chance.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And like, I know for me, I don't know, but like, all of a sudden, here's this guy, Shawn, who shows up at the time trial one night, and first run, just you laid down like this insane time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you've been riding at that point.
Right.
But I was just, holy smokes, this dude's crazy.
Yeah.
Like crazy strong. And one of the coolest things I can remember, and when I was riding heavily, I think one year I almost tagged like 1,500 miles one year. And for me, that was a lot.
Right.
I know Omar does that in like 3 months.
Omar is the endurance king.
But me, you, and Steve and Toby were on the group ride together, and you guys kind of took off, and I was just like, I'll try.
Yeah.
And I hung with you guys, and I felt so awesome when we got to this next stop, to the next recollect point.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, I just hung with Shawn and Steve and Toby for like one stretch of a club ride.
Yeah.
I'm totally dead now. I'm absolutely shot. Like, I'll be lucky to limp back in, but wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, but everybody starts somewhere. When I rode with, when I was riding with Marty Shackelford, my buddy, he, couldn't keep up with him. I thought, this guy is insane. One day he said, hey, let's do a century ride. And I said, 100 miles. And he said, yeah. I said, are you crazy? There's no way a man could. And we and we went on this ride. It was the first 100 miler that I did, and it was a suffer fest for me. Marty handled it like a champ, but for me, I thought and then when we were done, I hurt all over. It was probably a week before I could walk.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, there's no way I would ever want to do that again. But then it seemed like within a week, I thought, I just kept thinking about doing it again. I thought, I need to get back out there.
Yeah. Omar and I planned one, and we thought it was just a thing people did.
Yeah.
You hear people talk about century rides.
Right.
We just kind of assume, everybody does a century ride.
Sure.
And so we kind of, he found the Livingston McKee relatively flat run.
Right. Great ride.
We can make 4 laps.
Yep.
106 miles.
Yep.
There's our century.
Right.
And we started, and this was like our second year riding on road bikes. We had mountain bikes for a year before that.
Okay.
And then because we did that before we invested in road bikes.
Yeah.
And so then we got the road bikes, and we'd ridden for 2 years, and we're like, okay, well, let's go try a century.
Right.
And everybody's like, yeah, okay, sure. And so we buy some gels and stuff, and we get up super early. And we started the day we did it. When we started, it was below freezing.
Yeah.
I had ice all in my beard.
Oh man.
Halfway through the day, it got up to about 60 degrees.
Oh wow.
And I had got down to just like a summer riding kit. And
typical Kentucky weather.
Yeah, pretty average. And then on our last leg, on the way back in, my chain threw.
Oh.
And it wedged in between the stay and the derailleur and the cassette. And I mean, it was in there. Me and Omar, neither one could pull it out. And thankfully, some old dude on a tractor rolled by and had a big old screwdriver, and he pried it out.
Nice.
We got it back on. I had 2 gears for the last 9 miles of a 100-mile ride.
Oh man.
So all I could shift was the front.
Yeah. Good thing it's a flat route.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. It was really fortunate.
Yeah.
But made it back in, and like you said, I was so sore for the next 3 days.
Right.
And then we wound up doing them over and over.
Yeah. It's you get finished of something like that, and you just think, there's no way I would do that again. But then you think, I did that. I rode my bike for 100 miles.
Right.
That, you got these guys that on the Tour de France that ride that amount of mileage more or less every day for 30 days.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Those guys are crazy.
Right. But then you think, I could do that for one day. That's pretty cool.
Once.
Yeah. So it's quite the accomplishment. Like I said, the first time it was all I could do to ride 8 miles. And it's like I tell people when that say, well, I can't even ride 8 miles. Well, yeah, you can if you keep riding.
Yeah.
You'll obviously, and you keep adding miles. That's all it takes, So, just got to keep at it,
Yeah, just don't give up.
Right. Don't give up.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
I know and I took a break last year. I started trying to ride some again.
Yeah.
I went back out on the club rides. I did just the time trial course.
Right.
First 3 times, I thought I was going to pass out when I got back to the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how out of shape I was.
Yeah.
And now I will say, I think it came back faster because I hadn't been off for quite so long.
Right. Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was back up to doing 16 or 20 miles within just like a month or so.
Yeah.
But the first time when we started riding, it took a full season to make that progress.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just keep going.
And that's a great route. That time trial course is a great route to, especially to get started on. But it is that route is a big reason why I became stronger on the bike.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yep. That time trial course, that 8 miles, was an obsession for me. Because I wanted to get out there and continue bettering my time. That's the only real way you know if your training is paying off.
Right.
Is if you are becoming faster.
Yeah.
And doing that time trial, it's, you can't cheat time. And if you get out there and your time is faster than the previous, then you're doing something right. And then somebody started talking about records, Right. And I am competitive by nature, and mostly with myself. But then when you think, golly, I would love to be able to come close to that record, then it just becomes something that's just all I thought about was trying to beat that record. And I would get so close, and then I would think there's no way humanly possible somebody could do that. But I'd get on the bike during training, and I would kill myself. I was just a machine. That's all I thought about. And because of that, I became stronger on the bike.
And if you don't, not trying to force you to brag, but what are you now? Sub 16? Sub 17?
No, my time, you know what? The time to beat was...
It was
1801.
Right.
I don't know for sure. It's sad. Stephen Toby knows all that. Jack knows all those things. But the time was 1801. And let's see, 5 years ago, beat the time. My time was 17:58. And I thought, I'll never beat that time, my own time.
Right.
I'll never beat it because of the pain I experienced trying to beat that time.
Right.
I mean, I literally, when I went across the finish line, I literally fell off the bike. I stopped and fell off the bike. I mean, there was nothing in my legs. I felt like I was going to black out. I wanted to throw up. I could not breathe, and it sounds like somebody's listening thinking, why would someone put themselves through that? But ultimately, you have to get there if you want to achieve some kind of goal. And I just thought to myself, I'm okay with never being able to get back there and trying to even get close to that record. But last year, I beat that record by 11 seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can't even tell you how I did it. I kept thinking, I'm getting older, and the older you get, in my mind, the slower you are. That's not necessarily true for some people. Look at Jack Evans.
Right.
I mean, he is a monster on a bicycle. But I thought I'll never beat that. But that day was a perfect day when I did, and I got to the last mile of that course is downhill.
Right.
When you get to that point, when you get to that last mile and it's downhill, you go hard, or I go hard, but it's almost like it's kind of, in my mind, a time where you can relax a little because you're going downhill.
Yeah.
And I use relax loosely. But I just pushed myself even harder on that last mile, and I think it helped. Get me past my previous record.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is with me, but every time coming down that hill, if I'm really pushing, I cramp.
Really?
Every single time.
Yeah.
Downhill.
Huh.
I can go up a hill and I won't cramp, but going downhill, if I really push, my calves will cramp up on me.
Huh. I don't know. I think too that a lot of people, when they get to that point where it really starts hurting, no matter what they're doing, whether they're on the bike or they're running, or whatever their exercising goals, ambitions are, when they get to a point where it really starts hurting, they back off because they don't want that. They don't want the feeling of being nauseous or the feeling of I'm going to pass out, and for obvious reasons.
Right.
But if you want it bad enough, if you want to do something bad enough, you'll push through that. It's part of that stuff is part of the process. And you got to push through it. If you don't push through that, you won't ever get there. You've got to be uncomfortable, or you just won't get there. And so some people have enormous potential of doing amazing things, but they get to where it hurts really bad and they hit idle. They bring it back. If they would just push a little harder for just a little longer, they'll see their PRs or they'll see records. But you got to be a special kind of person to get through that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without that. And I know I struggle with that. Like a lot of times I'll back off because my biggest thing is I forget the name of it, but one of the big hills.
Haynes Knob?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was my white whale for a while.
Right.
It was like just not to try to like some crazy time. I just wanted to get to the top of it.
Right.
Without having to get off the bike.
Yeah.
That was my only goal.
Yes.
Start at the bottom and ride all the way to the top.
Yeah.
And the first time I tried it was on a club ride, and I completely bonked and sputted on the third section of the climb.
Right.
The steepest part.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't unclip.
Yep.
My legs were just gone. And it's steep enough that when I fell over, I slid back down the hill.
Yes. Right.
And after that, I was scared.
Right.
So anytime I would start getting fatigued, I would just stop and unclip.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
But there was a point, and I had gotten obsessed with the tour that year.
Right.
And I was watching it every day. I was watching the tour, and I'm like, man, those guys are climbing like Alpe d'Huez.
Yes.
I can climb some little hill in Kentucky. Like I can do it.
Yeah.
And it just got in my head, and I'm watching them, and every time they hit like a really big climb, they start throwing their water bottles.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what difference is like 8 ounces of water gonna make?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always take 2 full bottles with me just in case, I get whatever, I get thirsty, I need to wash a cut off or scrape or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get to the climb, and I've got 1 half bottle and 1 full bottle. And I'm like, screw this full bottle. I'll dump it out. I made it up the hill that time.
See?
It's just like, okay, I was like, that's 24 ounces.
Yes.
That's a pound. That's a pound and a half. I just dumped out.
Right.
I can make this climb without that pound and a half.
Well, that's funny that you say that. Yeah. Because for those that are listening to this, Haynes Knob is more or less a mile long.
Oh, I have no idea. So.
It is.
Okay.
It's a mile long, and it's I think it's an average 6% gradient, but the portion you were talking about, it kicks up to 10%, maybe 11%.
Oh, okay.
Which is solid. Especially if you're really going hard, if you're really trying to do something on it, you're kicking up the front. Actually, the start of it is pretty steep too.
Yeah.
The very beginning.
But it's not as long.
Right. And you're really doing something on that 6% gradient, and your legs are getting ready to fatigue, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's the 10 or 11%er. It's almost a switchback right there where you're at. So it's not right. But what you were talking about with emptying the water bottle, you're right. It may have been a couple of pounds, 3 pounds maybe, 2 pounds, whatever. But I think things like that is more mental.
Yeah.
You think I'm lighter.
Yeah.
I'm lighter, and I'm a gazelle.
That's right.
And I'm going to run right up this thing.
Yep.
And you did it.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Yeah. Solo. I was out by myself, but I was like, yeah, I finally made it.
Yes, I know. That Haynes Knob is probably my favorite, or it's my go-to hill when I want to check my fitness.
Okay.
First thing when bike season starts, I will hit Haynes Knob just to see where I'm at. I know my time. I know the time I want to be at or close to, and if I'm not there, I need to step up my game. And actually, I have the last several years considered Everesting Haynes.
Oh wow.
And I really want to do it this year. And I may do that.
Well, more power to you, man.
Yeah, right. I don't know. But I would like to. It's a little steep to do an Everesting on.
So when you do that, are you just doing it for the total feet of climb or for the distance?
It's the total feet. Everesting is obviously you're doing the same climb repeats till you get the elevation gain of Mount Everest.
Okay.
Which is 29,000 feet, 28 something.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, and you keep repeating that same climb until you reach that elevation.
Okay.
And if I have the numbers right, that would require 88 repeats.
Oh my gosh.
Of Haines Knob. And it would obviously be a total of whatever, 170 some miles total.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you don't count going back down.
Right. You're not gaining the elevation. The one good thing about that is there are rules to Everesting, because when you're done, you turn it in to the Everesting people,
right?
And they put you in the Everesting Hall of Fame for doing it. The rule is that one of the rules is you're allowed to take breaks.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you can take pretty long breaks, but you can't sleep. You can't just take a 5-6 hour nap. That's out.
Okay.
But you can take breaks, which I think everybody probably does or needs to. One, whatever that is, I would probably change kits several times, or stop and eat. But the good thing about Everesting is that if you think about it, you're really only riding or pedaling for on Haines Knob Everesting 88 miles, because I'm coasting downhill. You better believe I'm coasting downhill. I'm not going to pedal going downhill. So in my mind, I think, okay, all I got to do is really pedal for 88 miles. And I can do 100 milers easy now. I can do 200 miles. I've done 200 miles. I can do 88 miles. Except it's going up an average 6% gradient.
Right.
So, and knowing me and knowing how competitive I am, I'll try to kill it right away.
So when you do that,
it's all about pacing.
Do you have a total time that you cannot exceed?
I think you're allowed however long it's going to take you.
Okay.
I know that some have taken almost 24 hours to do it, which it might be how long it would take me. It just is going to depend. I would like to do it in 12 hours. But it's like I said, it's going to depend on if I need breaks. Just being able to complete it at all. Like, Rod, a friend of mine that rides, Rodney Hines.
Right.
He and I did it in July. Did not Everesting, but we wanted to do repeats. And we did, I can't remember the exact amount, but it seemed like we did 36 just to see.
Right. And
it sucked.
I can imagine.
Enormously. And a lot of that was, I think, because it had to have been 100 degrees outside.
Oh.
It was. And, but, you do, when I was doing that, there were parts of my body that were hurting that don't hurt in any other ride.
Yeah.
Your hips.
Climbing puts you in such a different body position
exactly.
than a standard. And especially when you got to worry about your front tire bouncing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hips were killing me. But that's just going to be part of it. And I have to, it's not supposed to be easy. And I gotta get through that. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do it so bad.
Right.
Is getting through that pain, mentally. It's more or less going to be, a lot of it's going to be mental. But that's my main objective this year, is to do an Everesting. I'm going to do some races, but I'm all in on Everesting.
You gonna wait till it's a little cooler later in the season? Or?
My plan was to maybe do it in April.
Oh, early. Okay.
Yeah, but I need to get my weight down more. I need to lose several water bottle weights.
Fair enough.
Which obviously would help a lot on Everesting.
Yeah.
So if I can't do it by then, I'll definitely make an attempt in the fall. But I will not be doing it in July.
Yeah. It sounds like a bad time.
No, I'm not going to do it. They're actually doing a organized Everesting ride at the Kingdom Come State Park climb in
down around Kingdom Harlan? No. Yeah. Barberville, Harlan down there?
Maybe. Yeah.
It starts in Barberville and goes to Harlan, right?
Yeah. It's out there.
Okay.
And it gets up to 30%.
Ooh.
And it, I've raced it. A bunch of us have raced up it, but
Oh, is that Black Mountain?
No, it's not Black Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it kicks up to, there towards the end, it kicks up to 30%.
Jeez.
I don't know how many, it's a little over a mile long. I don't know how many repeats it would take, but a lot, and probably too many at 30%.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of gear you're in. It doesn't matter how easy your gear is. No matter, the way I have it figured, no matter how easy your gear is, you're looking at having to push 500 watts up that section.
Jeez.
Because if you don't, you'll
just be there forever.
You'll roll backwards.
Right.
And so doing that however many times is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that or not. It'd be good practice. So we'll see.
Now I know when we were cycling, when I was riding a lot, I think you said one of the kindest things at that point anyone had ever said to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what possessed me, but somebody posted it and I was like, sure, I'll go try to tag along. And you guys were going to go do like, I can't remember if it was the first half or the second half of Procession of Hills.
Uh-huh. Oh man.
And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And they're only doing half of it. Worst case scenario, I'll just come back. But I went and we got out there and got rolling, and somebody said something, because it's not really my thing. The hard work, steep climbs. I'm a bigger guy.
Right.
I'm more for like flats and sprints.
Sure. Yeah.
Even when I'm in shape, like I'm still a big dude.
Right.
It's climbing's not fun for me. So somebody said something and I was like, well, whatever it takes, I'll get up and walk. If I have to, I'll just take my time. But I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
And turned around later and you came back and you said, dude, you know what? I really like that attitude.
Yeah.
Like, just don't give up.
Right.
And I was like, I was kind of just being a smart aleck about it, but okay.
Well, Procession of Hills is easily one of the hardest rides that you can do that I've ever done. It's just so much climbing.
Right.
There's Haynes Knob. Then there's Big Nasty. Big Nasty is so tough.
Those are the ones we did. Haynes Knob, Big Nasty, and one more, and then we turned around.
It would have been P Ridge. P Ridge would have been next. But then after P Ridge, you have the Wall of Shame, which is a little bitty kicker. A little bitty. It's a half a mile maybe. But it is so steep. And you're going downhill, and you immediately just you're in your hard gear, and you think, I'll just roll right over this little thing, and you stay in your hard gear, and then it's too late, and you're going straight up, and you have to leg it out. But that's probably one of the hardest parts to me about that ride. And then of course you have Cannonball, and Cannonball just seems stupid long, and it seems never ending, and then it has a kicker at the very end, and your legs are crying by then. It's 30 some miles, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems like forever, because all you're doing is going uphill the whole time. Yeah, right. It's a good ride, but your mentality on that was, and that's what I think a lot of people, I wish they would have that. They're going, if you can go out there and say, well, I'm not going to do good, or I'm not going to make it. But I'm going to try it. I want to do it anyway. I'm going to see what I can do. That's what you have to be successful in anything, really.
But I think to me, that spoke to your personality, even though I didn't know you very well.
Yeah.
Just you're the kind of guy that would encourage somebody.
Right. Well, thank you.
Would, and from just all I really knew about you was like, that's Shawn.
Yeah.
He's crazy strong on a bike. He runs he smashed the course record at Barnesburg. He thinks I can make it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try.
Well, and that's because you can, and that's because I started in that situation, and I had people that rallied for me, that cheered for me to do well. And I had a community of folks that wanted to see me excel. And it's hard to do anything if you don't have that. You can do it, It is possible. But right. if you don't have people that are supporting you, you may not make it. You may just give up. And those people don't let you do that.
Right.
And if you have those folks pushing you all the time, then you will make it. You'll get there somehow or another. And that's what happened with me. I had people pushing me. A lot of it was just me. Nobody's telling me to go super fast every ride. Nobody right. tells me to do that. They don't care. That's me, and that's what I want to do. That's how I ride.
Right.
A lot of people will say, "Oh, Shawn doesn't ever, he won't do social rides because and even when he does social rides, he goes too hard." Well, that's not me being a D-bag. That's just me riding how I ride. That's just how I ride. I can't.
Right.
The only time I have been able to really go slow on the bike and enjoy riding slow on the bike is when I've rode with Emily, my wife.
Nice.
And we'll be riding along, and Emily, she'll see some flowers and want to pick the flowers, and I'll stop and I think, oh, are we really? Are we really picking flowers? Let's go. Right. But I know I need to slow down and enjoy it. Enjoy my time with her on the bike.
Right.
And it is fun. It's fun to do that. But anybody else that rides a bike with me, we're going. We're going all out. Let's do it. I can't not go fast or want to go fast.
Right.
It's just, and I think by now the guys that I ride with, they know that. They'll say, well, that's just Shawn, let him go. I don't expect everybody to go as hard as I do all the time, because really you shouldn't. My coach for several years, JT,
right?
He would make sure that I would take time to go slower on the bike. There's this funny story about him. When I went to the family and I were going to the beach, and I told him, I said, JT, I'm going to gain so much weight out on it's going to be a solid diet of fish and chips and beer. And I'm so worried about its season. And he said, no, just let yourself go. It's going to be fine. Enjoy yourself. This is a week when you need to take off the bike anyway. Kick your feet back, relax, and then we'll hit it hard when you come back. And I said, okay, I can do that. That's fine. But in my mind, I thought, I'm going to be eating so much. And if I don't burn those calories, I'm going to be 100 pounds. I'll gain 100 pounds this week. That's right. What I was thinking. So I took my trainer. And my bike to Florida, and I put it out on the balcony. And in the mornings or in afternoons, every day I was getting on there and putting in, an hour, 2 hours. And JT sends me a message. Hey man, what are you doing? I'm on the bike, on the trainer. You're what? I'm on the bike. I'm on the trainer. He said, do I need to come down there and whip your ass? No, sir. No, you do not. He said, get off the bike. Get off the bike and enjoy your time and relax. And I said, okay, all right, I can do that. And I did.
Good.
I did. And it does help. But I don't know. It's hard to get over that.
I think it's one thing a lot of people, when they get hardcore into fitness, is that that sometimes don't necessarily allow recovery.
Oh, no doubt.
And I know I was when I was really, really trying to lose weight and get in better shape. Like I was like every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'm riding every day.
Yeah.
And it caught up to me after a while.
Yeah.
Like my knees started hurting, started swelling. Yeah. And so I learned you gotta take time off, let your body recover a little bit.
Right.
But I had to learn it the hard way. I didn't have anybody to
Yeah. Well, and I still don't do it like I should. I'll get on the bike and think today's the day. I'm gonna go slow. It's gonna be a recovery ride.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from Omar too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, come on, man. It's going to be a recovery ride. You can go with me.
Yes.
He's out there running like 18, 19 mile an hour average. I'm like, dude, like 12. Like, you need to slow down.
Right. Yeah. I'll get out there, and as soon as I clip in and I get on the road, I'm ready to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be going Mach 5 and then think to myself, what are you doing? Slow down. Nope. The whole ride. Every ride for me, I'll just say it, every ride for me is more or less a time trial. The whole ride. And I know that it hurts me to do that because my performance the next day may not be great because I went so hard. Or if I'm ready to perform at a race, I could have done better, but I decided to race. All my other rides were just races,
Right.
So I know that I need to do better. And I'm kind of doing a little better with that, especially this off season where I'm on the trainer. I'll dial it down a notch or two. It sucks, but
see, for me, I think that's one of the easier things on a trainer versus on the road.
Yeah.
Because for one, they just feel totally different.
Right.
Even a good trainer, even like the rock and roll, whatever, the ones that give and bounce a little bit, they still don't feel like the road.
Yeah.
And it's easier for me anyway. Also because I know you guys do Zwift, so I mean, it's a little different, I guess. But like on the road, there's always somebody in front of me. There's always something in front of me that I need to catch, or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's another ride. There's whatever. There's something in front of me I need to get to.
Yes.
But on the trainer, there's nothing. There's nothing there. So it's easier for me because I don't have the Zwift and stuff. So I mean, I know that there's like virtual riders that but for me, it's just a trainer, heart rate monitor. I don't even have power monitor.
Yep.
And so it's easier for me to dial it back.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Zwift, because Zwift, not only do they have other riders and races that you do on there, but they have segments too.
Right.
And myself, knowing me, when there's a segment, I'm all in all the time on a segment. I want to, I want to do the best time on that segment. And I'll get on these climbs on Zwift, and I'll find myself saying, you don't have to hit it that hard today. And I'll be throwing in 600-700 watts, killing myself up this climb on Zwift.
Wow.
Because it's a segment.
Right.
So then what I've been doing here lately is I'll just do the regular, not Zwift, but the regular trainer mode on it, where I don't have segments or races or other people to compete against. It's just me pedaling, like you said.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when I am ready to go hard again, I have more power. And that's because I haven't been killing myself in all my other rides. So it's working.
All right, gang, we're going to have to stop episode 1 right here of our conversation with Shawn. We had such a good time talking, we kind of lost track of time and didn't realize how long our conversation was. So to make it a little more manageable, I'm going to break it down into 2 parts. So I hope you've enjoyed part 1. Check back soon for part 2. Have a good one.